It's been a month since we got Wave 3 of the LEGO Sonic the Hedgehog sets. As I'm sure a lot of you are aware, we were very late to that video. But that didn't stop LEGO Sonic Wave 3 from being pretty great. No set from the LEGO Sonic the Hedgehog line so far has been bad. And while that also applies to Wave 3, I found myself preferring a lot of previous sets to the ones that came in that wave. So that's kind of why my eyes were focused on the next sets that would comprise Wave 4. This wave has been out for well over a month now, so we have no time to waste. We're going to run into every single store that has one of these sets, take them back to the house, and review them all for you. So without any further ado, let's hop into Target right over here and see what we can find. Okay, so they have this one right here, which is one that we need. This is part of the new wave. And they have this one right here. We got the Super Shadow versus biolizard. And we just need one more. It's the Tails Mech versus Metal Sonic. Darn. Okay, so, all right, stop 2, Walmart. Let's go.
Last one.
Oh, bam. All right, got the last real set that we needed. So now it's time to open up all of Wave 4. We have, once again, 3 brand new sets. All seem to be somewhat based around SA2 in a way. But without any further ado, we're gonna go ahead and open all of these, starting with the smallest. Our first set is the LEGO Sonic the Hedgehog Sonic's Campfire Clash set. This is the smallest Sonic the Hedgehog LEGO set to date, beating out the Shadows Escape set, which with this being the same price as that set, $19.99, I'm not expecting too much out of this, but let's go ahead and take a look. At the top left, we have the LEGO Sonic the Hedgehog logo sitting atop some blue bricks. Under that, it lets us know that the set is for ages 7 and up, the set number, the name of the set, Sonic's Campfire Clash, and how many pieces are in it, which is 177. At the bottom right, we have the iconic Sonic render that's used on all Sonic merchandise, and here's the art that shows that blue hand launching Sonic at a bunch of different gun robots. It's set on the Green Hill Zone background with the campfire there as well. Side of the box is a very old Sonic the Hedgehog render. The other side is just as boring as usual. The top of the box shows everything that you're gonna get, which is just Sonic, as well as showing off the scaling of the minifigure. Another classic boring bottom of the box, and the back of the box is pretty cool, showing off some slides of what the set looks like in action, as well as this little display down here. With all that out of the way, it's time to start unboxing this thing by punching in these little punch holes to get the box open, which is always going to come in handy. Shout out to LEGO once again for including this in their packaging. Here's a look at the manual you get. Very, very nice. Now it's time to start diving into bag 1. First order of business, as usual, is building our first minifigure, which is of course Sonic, as that's highlighted in the set. And here's a look at the little guy. And this is a different Sonic minifigure than we've had before, which is of course appreciated. While not too different, just sporting an angry expression, and this is nice to have a different Sonic LEGO minifigure whenever you get a new set featuring the same character. And once when we put Sonic in his little sphere, the rest of the set is really just building the launcher that you launch the sphere out of, as well as 3 rings, which is nice. At this point, this is standard procedure with a lot of these Sonic LEGO sets. This has kind of been the big marketing push for the Sonic LEGOs, and the reason to buy them is that you can launch the characters out of this little press sphere thing. It's nice, it's fun. I like this feature, it's cool, but when you build all of these sets back to back to back, and can get a little repetitive, but at the same time, I don't think LEGO intends for the average consumer to buy every single Sonic LEGO and build them back to back in one video, so can't really fault them there. Still a really nice feature. And here's what it looks like when it's done. I'm already gonna state I don't like this compared to the originals because it doesn't have the star that's usually used on the springs. I don't know why they got rid of that. I don't know why they used yellow. Of course, yes, there are yellow springs in Sonic, but this kind of just feels like a weird cost-cutting move. Here's me launching them though. And next up, and also lastly, is bag number 2. Next up is building our 2 gun robots. As I referred to earlier in the video, all 3 sets in this wave seem to be based off of Sonic Adventure 2 in some way, with the first one that we're going to be building being a gun beetle of some sort. There's already been a LEGO gun beetle in the SpeedSuperSonic vs. Egg Drillster set. This one is designed differently, featuring a lot more white. It's not entirely as accurate as the previous gun beetle was, but it's fine. This is a cheaper set, and it's nice to have a different gun beetle as well. And we're also building a gun hunter, which of course is also featured in Sonic Adventure 2 and the Sonic the Hedgehog movie 3. I love the little flicky turtle you can put in the back of it as well. They look pretty good. They're buildable minifigures, and they're kind of small, so they're not incredibly detailed or anything like that, but they're of course nice to have regardless. And the last part that we're going to be building is the campfire section, as that is in the name of the set, and kind of adds that fun little slice of life aspect that all these LEGO Sonic the Hedgehog sets have. Of course, Sonic wasn't indulging in a little campfire roasting a marshmallow in Sonic Adventure 2, but it's nice to have these little features as they just add to more of the fun and the value of the set as a whole. And there you have it. That is the LEGO Sonic the Hedgehog Sonic's Campfire Clash set. With this being the smallest set to come out of the LEGO Sonic the Hedgehog line, this was the fastest and easiest to put together. It's small, it's simple, it's only $20, so I hope you guys weren't expecting a whole lot. Getting 2 buildable badniks is very nice, as well as a quote-unquote new minifigure of Sonic. This set's competitor or equivalent is the Shadow set, and I think I prefer that one more, simply from a fan perspective. This set kind of just screams, hey, we need a cost-effective set that features Sonic, and this set accomplishes that. You get the launcher, you get Sonic, you get the campfire, and you get 2 badniks. So if you got $20 and you want to start out with some Sonic Legos, this is a great way to kick off your collection. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend that this is the greatest Sonic Lego set of all time, nor do I think that's what LEGO was trying to accomplish. I think their goal here was what I said earlier, make a cost-effective set to go in the wave that features Sonic. So overall, I do like this set, but my eyes, as well as I'm sure a lot of other fans, are set on the 2 other sets that come in this wave. So any further ado, let's dive into those. Next up, we have the Cyclone vs. Metal Sonic set. This retails for $29.99 as the second largest set of the wave. At the top left, we have the LEGO Sonic the Hedgehog logo once again. Underneath that, it lets us know that the set is for ages 8 and up, the set number, the name of the set being Cyclone vs. Metal Sonic, and how many pieces being 290. At the bottom right, we once again have that Sonic the Hedgehog render. The art features Metal Sonic going against Tails in his Cyclone, and it looks so cool for so many obvious reasons, set on the Green Hill Zone background. Side of the box features renders of Metal Sonic and Tails, and the other side is boring as usual. Top of the box shows the minifigures of Tails and Metal Sonic along with the scaling, the as usual boring bottom, and the back of the box is pretty cool, showing Tails chasing down Metal Sonic in his Cyclone, which looks awesome, as well as some of these boxes down here showing the set more in action and how it functions. With all that out of the way, it's time to start punching this bad boy open, and I'm so excited to get into this one, I can't lie. Here's a look at the instruction manual, and without any further ado, let's dive into bag number 1. First order of business as usual is building the minifigure, this one being of Tails, and like Sonic, this is another different variation of a angry Tails, which they did with Sonic as well, which I think is an interesting choice, as you don't see Tails usually pissed off, and he also comes with some tools, and here he is in all of his glory. He looks pretty cool if I do say so myself. It's just really funny seeing Tails with this kind of expression on his face, I can't deny it. Now it's time to start diving into the Cyclone. This is what we're going to be spending a majority of our time on, as this is the big draw of the set, of course based off of the Cyclone from Sonic Adventure 2, where that's where Tails is in basically the entire game. It says a lot when a set that features a brand new minifigure of a character that we haven't gotten yet isn't even the biggest selling point of the set. It's the fact that they brought back a part of Sonic history that fans love so much and seems to be making a return, with this also popping up in Sonic Frontiers, which was really fun, and hopefully we see it pop up in some other media as well soon. Just knowing that I'm building this makes it even more fun of a process, as we have literally never received merchandise of the Cyclone. Not an action figure, nothing. And really the rest of the bag 1 is just going to be building out the body of this Cyclone with some really fun details like the Tails logo that you see pop up in the adventure games. Love that kind of stuff. And here is what it looks like when you're done with bag 1. Very nice, very pretty, as you can see, very accurate to what it looks like in the game so far, but we still need to build out the legs in the next bag, so let's go ahead and move on to that. First things first with bag 2 is that we get to start off with something very fun. We're going to be building Metal Sonic, who is technically our first new minifigure since Rouge and Shadow from Wave 2, unless you want to count Supersonic. And here he is. He looks so awesome. He has this little fire coming out of his hand, which is so cool. It kind of gives the illusion of him flying away from the Cyclone. Very happy to have a new minifigure, especially of it being of Metal Sonic. Rest of bag 2 is really us just building the legs for the Cyclone. It's kind of a repetitive process, but it just expands the Cyclone more and makes it more accurate to the games. And one of the things I love about it is the fact they're able to transition it between its walker form, the mech form, and the flight form of the Cyclone. I think this has been a dream of LEGO Sonic fans, Sonic Adventure 2 fans, seeing this not only in a form of merchandise, but LEGO form, and being as accurate as it is, it's just so awesome. It's not just the legs, of course. We're also putting things on there like the wings, which is really fun. Wheels on the back of the legs, so you're able to have it roll around. This is so peak. And here it is, peak in the flesh. This thing looks so freaking cool. I'm in love with this as a massive fan of the story of Sonic Adventure 2, and something you don't receive too often, which is game-specific merchandise. This has to be one of LEGO's best Sonic products. It also features a brand new minifigure, which gives you even more incentive to pick it up. And for only $30, this is an insanely good deal. I feel like if Jakks Pacific released a Cyclone figure pack of some sort, it'd probably run you around the same price. I don't know if I'm ready to say this is the best Sonic LEGO set of all time yet, but this is definitely in my top 5, if not my top 3 for sure. This is so cool. It's affordable, it looks great, it's game accurate, it features a brand new minifigure, 5 stars. I completely recommend this. This is amazing. This is spectacular. Go pick this up right away. Go support this set. Not just because it's Sonic Adventure 2, because remember, the next set we're going to be talking about is also Sonic Adventure 2. Last but not least, our final set of today's video is the LEGO Sonic the Hedgehog Super Shadow vs. biolizard set. This is the marquee set of this wave and retails for only $44.99, which is a great deal off the bat. At the top left, we have the LEGO Sonic the Hedgehog logo. Underneath that, it lets us note that the set is for ages 9 and up, the set number, the name of the set, Super Shadow vs. biolizard, and how many pieces are in the set, which is 419. At the bottom right, we have the infamous render, and the art shows that blue hand launching Shadow into the biolizard with Sonic helping out. Just by looking at this, I can already tell this is going to be peak. This side of the box shows renders of Super Sonic and Super Shadow. The other side is boring as usual. Top of the box shows the minifigures of Super Shadow, Super Sonic, and the scaling. The bottom. And here's the back, showing off what the set looks like in action going against the biolizard. It's still kind of hard to process that this thing is actually real. Gonna punch this bad boy open and start tearing this one open. This one is giving me a little more trouble than any other Sonic Lego I had. It's probably my fault, but here it is. A little look at the instruction manual, quite beautiful. And despite this being the largest set, let's start off with the smallest bag 1 so far. You know what the first order of business is, building that minifigure, and this one is a new one technically, and that is of Super Shadow. Here he is. This is quite literally just a repaint of the previous Shadow minifigure, but still it's very nice to have regardless. I'll put this little guy in my pocket and take him to places with me, I guess. Rest of bag 1 is building the launcher, and once again, this one uses the yellow spring again. I know it's a giant nitpick. I just prefer the other one because it's just more Sonic accurate, especially if you're doing stuff based around modern Sonic exclusively. Don't really know why you're resulting to using the yellow spring. This is probably my biggest issue with this wave more than anything, literally nothing else. But as I'm sure you guys are aware, this is the same exact procedure as the first set that we built in this wave for Sonic's Campfire Clash. Nothing too crazy whatsoever. And once again, here's what it looks like once when you're done. Next up, we got bag number 2, and it's time to start building the biolizard. This part is honestly nothing crazy. In fact, the rest of the set is really just building biolizard, but this is just kind of the base of the biolizard. Nothing too crazy. You're not going to really see him coming to form yet. You're really just building the structure for what the rest of the set has in store for you. But the simple fact that we have a biolizard set is literally insane. Once again, similar to Cyclone, we've never received merchandise of the biolizard. It's kind of cool now that adventure nostalgia is catching up to us and we're receiving official merchandise of it. It's just so cool. And once when you're done with bag 2, this is really what you're going to be looking at. Next up, bag 3. Bag 3 is really just building upon that base that you made, adding some more layers to it, making it more defined. This is more where you can see biolizard coming together. Once again, nothing too crazy, but once we get into these next bags, things are going to start getting a little more fun. Bag number 4, here we go. As I'm sure you can see by a lot of the pieces scattered on the table, we're going to be building a lot of the legs and the arms for biolizard right here. If anything, this was the most satisfying part of the biolizard to put together, if that could be believable. It's just really fun putting all of those cylinders together. I like it. This is where you actually see it coming to form, where you're like, oh, this is the character from the game that I remember. Making the tail, the limbs, all of that, so cool. And it's a really cool bag before you get into the final one. Here's what it looks like after bag 4. You can tell like, okay, this is biolizard now. You just gotta get some of those final details and touches in. And last but not least, bag number 5, our final bag. For the first time in what seems like forever, we have a new minifigure to build from this bag first, and that is going to be our Super Sonic. Here he is. This is the same Super Sonic that we had in the previous set from last wave, Super Sonic vs. Egg Drillster. Not upset by this, didn't really need a variant, just happy it's here. After that, we're just finishing out biolizard, building his head, building his little life support system, if that's what you want to call it. Just little more touches to make him more, well, biolizard, and all I can say is that he looks very accurate once when you're done with it. Having little design details already screen printed on the bricks, having the little tubes that you're able to put inside of it, it's not only satisfying, but so much fun and just adds to the overall accuracy of this set to the games. And here, ladies and gentlemen, is what it looks like once when you're done. This set is incredible, without a doubt, just like Cyclone, one of my favorite sets in the history of LEGO Sonic the Hedgehog. Remember guys, this set is only $44.99, and you get multiple minifigures of Super Sonic and Super Shadow, a launcher, as well as the biolizard himself, a character that doesn't have any merchandise whatsoever. The value of this is incredible. There's no real quote-unquote play feature outside of the launcher. There's no like background set or somewhere for Sonic and Shadow to hang out at. It's really just Supersonic, Super Shadow going against the Biolizard, which is completely fine, especially for the price once again. This isn't one of those top dollar premium sets. In fact, this is cheaper than a lot of these other sets that you've seen us unbox, like Supersonic versus Egg Drillster. But this is like a fraction of the price and so much better in my opinion. Like, yes, Egg Drillster is from the games, but it's just not as iconic as this. I see this doing really well in stores. I can confidently say this is one of my favorite Sonic sets of all time. It's iconic, it's cost effective, very similar to the last one in a lot of regards. I think I might just like this one a little bit more. But to sum it all up, I highly recommend Super Shadow versus Biolizard. It's amazing. Pick this up right away if you have the funds to do so. And there you guys have it. That is LEGO Sonic the Hedgehog Wave 4. Overall, very impressed with this wave. I like it way more than Wave 3. One of my biggest issues with Wave 3 was the fact that you could just find a lot of those other sets with better alternatives. That problem is not here. These sets are wholly original, based off of an iconic Sonic the Hedgehog video game featuring that iconic imagery, specifically with the Cyclone and the Biolizard sets, with the two formers being some of my favorite Sonic LEGO sets to date. I love them. This just continues LEGO Sonic the Hedgehog's hot streak, and I can't wait to see where it goes next. Speaking of next, what is coming next? What is in store for LEGO Sonic the Hedgehog Wave 5? With as popular as this line of LEGOs has been, assuredly we're getting another wave, and you are correct. Wave 5 is on the way, and we do know what the sets are going to be. Now, they're only 2, but they are higher ticket items than usual. Releasing in the summer of this year, we have the Knuckles vs. Dr. Eggman Egg Crusher mech set, as well as the Team Sonic Command Truck. Based off the name alone, it sounds like Knuckles will be going against Eggman in some kind of new mech. This set is going to retail for $39.99, so basically just $40, which puts it at $5 cheaper than the Biolizard set. I'm hoping that this set can come out with some new minifigures, as based off of the title, it sounds like it's going to be pretty standard Sonic LEGO affair. And the next one is interesting. It's the Team Sonic Command Truck. When I hear Command Truck, my mind automatically goes to the gun truck, but based on it being called Team Sonic Command Truck, I'm assuming that it's going to be a truck that Sonic and Team drives. And with it retailing for $60, I'm sure we're going to have some good minifigures in there. I think we can expect Sonic, but I think we can also expect some of the other characters as well. I hope we can get a new one. I'm still praying for a big figure, even though I think that's kind of unlikely based off of the names of these. But you never know, maybe LEGO will come out and surprise us, and both sets will feature new characters. Off rip, these don't sound as exciting as the wave that we just reviewed today, but I'm still of course going to give them a shot, and will be sure to review them the second that they drop. This wave has made me fall in love with LEGO Sonic even more, so I can't wait to see what they have in store next.
And be right by the motherfucking seaside, dog. Everything I see, I got a dream. I thought these leaves would go and take me out the dark. I know everything I wanted to far away. Yeah.